All right, we are live. This is our second to last Graduates Mastermind, since we're all going to be back hopefully in boot camp with Erica starting on the 9th of November. So we'll do next week, and then we'll be done with this. We'll put it on hiatus until we come out of the next cycle. But for wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If you're live, it's great to have you. If you're on the replay, we're glad you're catching us. And we're going to discuss what happened this past weekend. Whether you were there live or you were on the live stream, or if you weren't there and missed some, we're going to fill you in on that. So that's what we're going to be doing today, or if you're on the replay whenever you're watching this. So let's go around and introduce our panel for the day. Why don't we start with Linda?
Hey, Linda Hobson, St. Louis, Missouri, and co-founder of Princess Mafia, hashtag Princess Mafia. And glad to be here, excited to talk about what happened this weekend.
Okay, next, Nance.
Hi, my name is Nancy Lohr, and I am the founder of Mindset Mama, mindsetmama.com. And I was not at the event this weekend. I was at a memorial service for my mother, so I am very excited to hear about what has gone on. It seems like there's been so many changes.
Yes.
Okay, Robert?
All right, I'm Robert Vaughn with robertvaughnlive.com, and I am extremely excited about what we saw this past weekend. It was absolutely fantastic getting to meet all of the fellow boot campers that were there. And hey, I'm just ready to get this thing rolling.
Me too.
All right, for the rest of you that don't know, I'm Ray Chaffardini, Rhino Marketing Concepts and RhinoMarketingConcepts.com. We're there every day on, with our videos, and we, go into it with that. So, I've been doing that since the beginning, so I'm,
I
getting
love
my
it
brand out there. So, there's no doubt about what I do. But let's get into this weekend that just passed. Robert, for you, what number event was this for you?
This was my fourth event.
Okay.
Yeah, my fourth event, yeah. And I believe it's the best one that we've had so far.
Yeah,
Amen, brother.
Definitely. It was my it was my fourth also. First one I hadn't been there live, but yeah, it was definitely a lot of excitement. Why don't you give us your view of what was talked about this weekend that hit you the most?
Well, I really, we had, as always, we had a lot of tremendous speakers that came up and spoke on stage. One of the things that I really liked was John Oakes. He went through and really gave you examples on how you could do a better job of bridging your Facebook post with your blog, okay, rather than just throwing up your blog and expecting people to migrate over there. He really did a good job of showing you how to break that down and just basically lead them that way, so that if they were interested in reading your blog, they would have to click your link and go on over there.
Can you give an example of what he showed you?
That's tough. Well, he showed like a lot of the stuff was more on the showing your personal life kind of thing, instead of just like I say, just maybe writing a couple of lines and then posting your blog link itself. It was more of showing the different things about you and your family, perhaps, that you do on a day-to-day basis. And then there was a little bit that would tie it to, or sometimes he would just suddenly have his link there, and then that would make the person interested to see where that link led them to.
Mhm.
Okay.
And sometimes he also showed where uh, you could write, quite a bit about the story, tell a story,
Mhm.
and then be able to link to the blog. That story would kind of lead you over towards his blog.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And so it wasn't it wasn't a salesy thing. It was more or less getting to know him and his family, and then they just transgressed into wanting to see more about um, what it was that he did that allowed him to have this free time.
Hmm. All right, good. All right, Miss Hobson, what struck you the most?
First, I do want to add to what Robert said. The other thing that he did was instead of just putting his link and let the link like drop down with the picture and the little blurb like we do, he just put the link and he added a photo that was either the what do you call it, the header of the post, the top image of the post, or of the blog post, or just something that resonated with that story. So he'd have a pic instead of letting the link put a picture in, he would put a picture in with the link. Um, and really, for me, oh my gosh, the Instagram training was so fantastic. First of all, I'm interested in doing that. I'm a visual person. I think it's fun. Instagram can be fun. Now, it hadn't been fun. I'd kind of stopped doing it because it hadn't been fun for a while because I was marketing to network marketers and it got all spammy and just creepy and I just didn't really enjoy it. And so Justin Holland, who is a young kid, I'm gonna say if he's probably not much past 30, so probably late 20s, early 30s, and is with his Instagram. He has more than one account. He did not say how many he had. He wouldn't let that number out of the bag, but he gets five. He has 500,000 followers. And so when someone says something like that, you kind of need to pay attention to them because your followers are that's your first step to getting a lead because they're going to start paying attention to what you post. And he was talking about some stuff like, when I would do my hashtag research, I would look for ones that were the most popular. So if I was talking about, well, he used the example travel because one of his accounts is strictly about traveling the world, and so you look at travel. Well, hashtag the word travel has like 1.6 million users, and you would think that's awesome. That's 1.6 million people that are going to look at my stuff. But his point was, no, I don't use that. I look at other things that are similar, like the word traveling, and he put that up. Hashtag traveling only has about 40,000 users, and although it's a lot less, it's still a big number, and it makes it more targeted because you're not lost in the fray of 1.6 million people. You only have about 40,000 that are specifically looking at traveling, and so that was one tip that I was like, oh, I've been doing it all wrong. And I really enjoyed him. And the other thing I loved was they just made it, the whole thing was more fun. They were so excited about the changes that were happening. There was a high energy with Dave and the leaders. So they really worked hard to make it a fun event. They were kind of lighter on their feet on stage, and like Tracy Walker was like the funniest I have ever seen her. She got her point across, but I mean she was funny, and I loved. They did a skit at the beginning. For those who didn't see any of it, they did a skit at the beginning, and you didn't know it was a skit. Well, you kind of knew because it was like they had mics on and everything. But it was all about this guy who was thinking about becoming an entrepreneur and using Empower Network to sell something. and all the foes, the forces of evil come out and start talking to him. Like he's like so excited, and he's walking through the audience. He's like, I'm so excited, I can't wait to hear what this is all about, and I think I can do this, and just like every new entrepreneur talks about. And then this man in this suit comes out, and he's very proper, and he starts talking about how he's a fool to think he should be doing that he should do what the system has in place, which is going to college and getting good grades and getting a job and retiring. And then his mom comes out, who was a hoot. She was kind of like she was kind of like I'm gonna say like Mrs. C on Happy Days or somebody like that. Like she was talking like really 50s, like really making sure that her kid was okay, and she had this cute little outfit on, and talking about how she appreciates the fact that he wants to be an entrepreneur, but maybe he should go into a job like his father has. Mm-hmm. And then the last one was himself, and he kind of argues with himself. And it really was a visual of what we go through on a day-to-day basis. We got the system, we got outside influences telling us that the system is what's right. We've got well-intentioned family that were like, I think you're making a mistake. I think you should get a job, that kind of thing. And then we have those internal foes where you're like, I don't think you can do it. I don't know if you're good enough. I don't know if you're pretty enough. I don't know if you can, do these things that these leaders are doing. And it really made a big impression, I think, in a fun way, because it was really great. It was like going to, a play or something. And then biggest moment for me was at the end when Dave did his like rah-rah speech. And I had 2 huge breakthroughs, but I don't really want to go over those right now. Very huge, like life-altering breakthroughs. Yeah.
Cool.
Nance, were you able to catch any of the live stream since you
No,
were busy
because
this weekend?
you, of course, had to be live to catch the live stream, and I was busy all weekend with family and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I was on the live stream, and just from my perspective, I thought it was better than being there because there was so much less distraction. Than people next to you, other people talking. Plus, I had unlimited snacks, so I mean that was a big part.
Hey, I had unlimited snacks. Ask Robert.
And I can get up, go to the restroom when I needed to, and not miss anything. So. But yeah, it was just so packed. I mean, I'm just so, on some things I know what they said and I know what to do, but I'm definitely going to see the recordings to definitely take it all in, because I was taking notes as fast as I could, and they look like crap now. It's a hard time to read some of them, but it was just.
Now did you have could you pause it at all?
No, it just kept running.
Okay. I just wondered if you could pause.
I mean, my bathroom's only 3 steps from here. My kitchen's 5 steps, so I'm in a pretty good location. So, but yeah, I mean, you could tell the energy in the room. I mean, you just felt like you were there.
Next time I'm taking a little college refrigerator with me. I'm just gonna like plug it in right next to my seat, so I have like cold drinks and snacks.
Well, at least for the next one, you'll be able to do that, since it's gonna be, you'll either be in Hawaii or you'll be on a live stream.
Yeah.
So that was exciting to hear about.
Yeah. I will say, for those people who are listening, live stream is great for those things, but you do miss the camaraderie afterwards. And
unless you're like in the frame and you tag everybody in your pictures,
right?
You don't miss anything.
Yeah, you don't miss anything. Although I don't even know what the conversation was about, but the conversation between Ellie Walsh and Alex Udenu the first night, I have no idea what they were talking about, but they were laughing so hard I thought Ellie was going to pee in her pants. and and there's pictures of them like laughing hysterically. And the other thing is like I got to have a long conversation with Anna Zubarev. And I mean, I have a bond with her. It's not like, I'm just some, person in the audience. I have a bond with her. But I have a bond with her. A lot of the reason is because I always say hello, and we get closer through every event, and then we keep in touch through Facebook. And then at the next event, it's just more exciting to be able to see her again. So it just keeps that relationship building. And other people too. I had a good conversation with John Oakes and Mark Dale, and those are the things that, although it's awesome to have the live stream if you can't make it, and yes, you have those little you don't have the distractions that you have and the lack of sleep and all that kind of stuff, but there's a lot that you miss too. So I say get to the event if at all possible, but if you can't, don't worry. They keep saying they don't know if they're going to do a live stream, and then they say it at the very end, and I think it's because they don't want people planning on doing the live stream as a cheap way out. They want people to try to get there.
Well, the good part is too, in the live stream they have live chat going on.
Yeah,
so, there was Zach was involved. Laura Parrish was on there.
Yeah.
And in our own group of tilters, we had a thread going for people that weren't there, like me, Jeannie, Sue Price, a couple of other people. So we were, we were all staying in contact, so we knew what was going on. And Erica popped in every now and then, saying how good we were doing, it's staying in touch. And I had a problem on Sunday. The link wouldn't work. It was taking me to the sign-in page to get to buy it. And Jeannie, got me the information because she was already on, and helped me get through to Zach. So we got it all squared away because I wasn't the only one that had the problem.
Oh, my
goodness. That worked out well. So, Jeannie, if you're watching this, thanks again. I really appreciate it.
Love you, Jeannie. And then, of course, the big announcement is that in January there is a live event, but you have to earn it to go to it. It's in Hawaii. And so you have to be gold by the end of December, or the top 50 sign-ups and commissions. I'm not sure how, but anyway, top 50 people who didn't get to gold, they will also bring to the event. And I don't know if it's all expenses paid, but they get you there and they give you a room. I don't know about food and all of that, but they're actually gonna spend some big bucks and get some people there. And then for everybody else, there's definitely a live stream.
Of which you can already buy your tickets.
Right.
They've gone up in price from the 97.
And you also have to buy your ticket to get to the event. Like, you have to buy the live stream in order to be eligible for the trip. So you can't wait till the last minute and say I'm gonna see if I earn the trip. You got to have the ticket anyway.
And that's just going to be there, for those that aren't going to be in the top 50 or be gold.
Right.
So we'll leave them all behind.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, I'm planning on being in Hawaii.
Okay. So, what else is going on in everybody's life since we're going to be wrapping this up and going into the boot camp in a few days?
I'm excited about the boot camp. I don't know if I just think that guidance and whatever, and I bet that her training has changed just a little bit since coming back from the events. So it's going to be in alignment with how everything, all the new stuff is, and so I'm excited about it. I just think that's going to catapult us all into, success.
Mm-hmm. And I know Erica's been keeping some late hours because we've been chatting back and forth on Facebook. And yesterday she was up to like 1:45.
Oh my goodness.
It was like 12:30 her time. And she says, we should all be doing that because we should all be in, total work mode, which I agree with. I mean, she's just, a prime example of what we should be doing and somebody we should follow.
Mm.
Robert, anything else from you? What's going on?
Well, I would say that, the one thing that I like about this, and I have to say that, Dave Wood has been trying for a long time to find a way to get the leaders to work closer and more for their teams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And now then, there's no way around it. Everything that they do now will drop below their team somewhere, okay? And so, in one way or another, they automatically will be building that help build everyone's team together. It's not. It's no longer where you're just working for or working with those people who seem to be coming out the gate and producing right quick. Really, it is you are working for the whole team now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think he's really found a way that's going to make a difference so that everyone new coming in now can really benefit from it.
Mm-hmm. And for some leaders, it's going to be a big shift because they don't do that.
That's right.
Which is going to be interesting to watch and see how they develop.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that, some people don't handle it the way others do.
Right.
I mean, there's some that are always out there inviting people in, even with their own groups, filling up a whole Zoom board of people for all their events and having other people on watching also that can't be on the squares. I mean, like for instance, last night, Toby Black did a thing on the 3 biggest mistakes people make in going into an online business. And it wasn't just for their group, it was open to anybody, which was interesting. Then I know Tracy and LT did one afterwards, but it was just for their groups.
Mm-hmm.
But there again, I mean, they're really involved. And I don't know how many of the other people's lists you're on, but I've got a couple that I get on a regular basis. And I'll tell you, Dr. Steve has been sending out emails like there's no tomorrow about, getting involved and what the team is doing as it's growing, that, if you're not in, you're missing out on all these people, and, links to see, the compensation, links to see, the iPass video. It starts out with John Oakes. I mean, it was funny because I'm on his Periscopes a lot, and I said, I'm going to have to opt out of you because you're sending me too many emails, which he thought was pretty funny. But, he says, well, use them. I said, I have been. Everything anybody's been sending, I've been, swiping and sending out myself because why reinvent the wheel if they've already got it down? When you see the same ones coming in from a bunch of different people, you're on to something.
Oh, excuse me.
A nice mouth there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's right. We caught Nancy yawning before, but she doesn't know that. So Nance, you weren't involved this weekend, and there's a lot of things that went on, and I know you've been busy with other things. And I know before we got on, you said it made you feel out of the loop. Go into that a little bit so people know that they got to stay involved.
Well, I just feel like because I haven't tapped in at all. I guess the biggest message here is that you need to stay. You need to be involved. You need to keep tapped in because the problem is this moves so fast. There are changes that happen all the time, and they're going to continue to happen all the time because this is a very fast-moving business, and changes are made, like I said, all the time. And if you miss some time, like my mother had passed away, and so for the most part, I've been out of the loop for about a month, and you know, I feel like I'm starting over in a sense, you know, but you know, obviously there's so much excitement here, you know, I want to start over, but
But you're starting out in a much higher position.
oh no,
You're not
there's no
ground zero.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, I have, you know, all kinds of knowledge and experience, you know, from, you know, the past here, but I mean, that's the thing. I mean, this is a fast-paced business. This is a fast-paced industry, and there are changes, and that's a good thing. You know, it keeps you fresh, and so you don't get stagnant. So, you know, I look forward to getting up to speed here and moving forward.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and you talk about it moving fast. I mean, I know since I've been involved with the boot camp originally with Erica and then following through with this for the past 11 weeks, I believe it is. I said to Linda Hobson yesterday, I said, I can't believe what a mess my place is because I've been concentrating so much on the business. I got, you know, stuff thrown all over the place. I haven't dusted, you know, I haven't vacuumed. It's just like, I got to change this. I mean, I got to start taking care of this place a little bit better because it's going to hell in a handbasket. But like Linda said, welcome to network marketing. I said, yeah, you got that right. Because, you know, when you're grinding, it does take a lot out, and, you know, it's just going to, you know, reap the benefits later on. So I'll have maids and stuff to take care of that for me.
That's right.
That's right.
Good. You know, one of the biggest things for me, I will mention one of my big breakthroughs. It was you know, I had kind of little aha moments, but one of the days, it wasn't the last day, I can't remember which day it was, but anyway, Dave's, of course, telling a story, and this guy sits down to him. Dave actually went to one of the mansions where they were having a Mastermind. And so he decided, he had been invited, and he said, I never tell him whether I'm coming or not because I never know whether I'm coming or not. So he just shows up, and he's like chatting with people, and I'm sure he did, you know, kind of a little like a rah-rah kind of thing. But anyway, he's sitting down, he's chatting with people, and this guy sat down that he knew very well, had been in Power Network for a fairly long time. And he was very proud of him because, like Dave Sharp, he had been addicted to drugs and got clean and had been clean for quite a while and really turning his life around, especially with Empower Network. And so they were talking, and he turned to Dave and he said, I feel like my huge breakthrough is just around the corner. And I went, because I say that all the time. And he said, and he turned to him and he said, you've already had your breakthrough. You step into that person that's already had the breakthrough, that's already around that corner, and you look through that person's eyes. You step into yourself, into your quote-unquote future self, because you've already had the breakthrough. And he said, I could just tell in his eyes, everything changed. Everything changed. And I even had a conversation after that with a friend of mine who's on my original team, and we had a conversation before we both left to go to Orlando, and both said the same thing. Both said we feel like we had to go to this event, whether it's tight budget or not, because our breakthrough was right around the corner. And so I said, we got to make a pact to each other that if that ever pops in our head again, we have to stop and step into that person.
Very cool.
And yeah, it was really good. It was really good. Because it's done now. A lot of us on my original team have been around for more than a couple years, and it's time to be on stage. It's time to be a success. We know what we're supposed to do. We just got to do it.
And that's a big thing. I mean, hearing it and putting it into action is two different things.
Right.
And, people can go to events all the time, taking all the information, find everybody to look up to, find people to follow. But if they don't put it into action, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And that's the big thing. Because, we see a lot of people that don't make, they drop out after a while. They might be there for a meeting or two, and then they drop out. But, all they were doing was taking in the information and not putting it into action so they get the results.
Mm-hmm.
And for different people, it's going to take different, take them different events to and different time periods to get around that corner and step into that person. But that, I thought that was a great analogy Dave made with it, because
yeah,
there's a lot of people out there that I know say that and haven't gotten there. I mean, for me, it was sort of a revelation, but it hit me that yeah, it is, but I'm there. I think I'm there already.
mm-hmm.
So I think I can get to the next level. Robert, what did you think about when they told that story there?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to bring up next. Thank you there, Linda, for beating me to it.
I'm always taking words out of your mouth. Sorry.
But
Wait, but let me tell you another story. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
That's exactly what I was thinking about too. Whenever she started talking about that, and when I left here myself, I said to myself, I am right on the edge. I am almost there, And, of course, I think everybody sitting right there near me, when Dave said that, everybody kind of went, wow.
Yeah.
And so I think it resonated with a whole lot of people there.
Mm-hmm.
And it really was the way Dave told the story and all, about it just being around the corner. It's like you need to look around that corner and just jump into that person, because you're already there.
Yeah, and I think even I think even the leaders and the people that are making it big probably benefited from that also, because on the new boot camp, Erica had us ask, what would be the one question you would ask about this business? And the one I put down is, how do you know when you've arrived? And, that made me think about that a lot, because how do you know? Even though you might have the success and everything, are you doing it all, the way it should be? Are you doing it, following in the trainings that we have? When you look at it, there's a hell of a lot of training in there, and I know if you don't go through it, it's not going to help you. When you were going to say something?
Well, I was going to say, and I think that's a kind of a personal thing too. Because Dave asked that, and one of the products is that what is going to be the proof that you have success? When you're thinking about that perfect day and you've already succeeded, what is the proof, the social proof, the physical proof that you've accomplished what you wanted to accomplish? So part of it is a very personal thing, and about breakthroughs is, at least for me, when they tell stories about breakthroughs, it's like this huge epiphany, like you imagine the angels singing ah, and this light coming down on you. And some breakthroughs, although will affect your business in the same way, come to you quietly. They're not necessarily a knock you over or smack you in the face kind of thing. And I think all of us expect that epiphany, smack you in the head and the light coming down and the angel singing. And so sometimes we don't quite get the breakthrough because we're expecting this huge thing to happen.
Yeah, like, where's my angel?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, and at the same time, though, when Dave talks about people having breakthroughs, he says you can see it in them, if you're observing them. The face will change, the way they're looking. You can just, see their whole body change when they do have it. Like you said with that guy that he was talking with at the mansion. He said, he could just see it. His eyes changed. Everything about him changed.
You can, I think you can tell from people's eyes whether they're really feeling it or not. And I was actually, the leaders who know are looking for that. If they're talking to you, about like Erica's really good about getting you to the side and talking to you about how great you are and how good you're going to be and everything. She's looking for that spark in your eyes. Same thing with Dave Sharp. And then I had a conversation with Mark Dale about weight loss because of he owns a gym. And I was talking to him about him, and he put his hands on my shoulders and he looked me eye to eye. And he said, "Are you ready to do what it takes to lose weight?" And I said, "Yes, I'm tired of, you don't feel it when you're at home except for that it hurts to move. I mean, yes, but, when you're comfy on your couch and you're doing your work and you think, oh, a couple cookies might be really good while I'm working, and then all of a sudden the whole thing of cookies is gone. You don't think about that stuff. But when you get pictures posted of an event and you see what your body has turned into, it's a wake-up call, And so, same thing with breakthroughs. It's, they look for that spark because it's gonna, most of all, it will change in your eyes. And the event, you know what? I think I'll share my breakthrough. You think I should? I told you the story, Ray. Do you think I should tell that story?
It's up to you.
Okay, well, as most people know on our team, and especially that went to the event, I wasn't gonna go. There was two things. First of all, my dad's 89 and he'd fallen about 4 times in the last 2 weeks, so I was a little worried about that. And the second was money. I felt like it was gonna stretch me too tight, and I just felt like I couldn't go. And then and I was okay with not going and just getting the live stream. Nancy wasn't going, Zen wasn't going, and I'm like, okay, it kind of felt into that comfortable place where my roomies aren't going. I'm okay with not going. And I mean, that I wanted that to be the last time that I did not go. And I wound up, the pieces fell into place. Once Zen said she was going, I'm like, and then she was rooming with Linda Frame. I'm like, oh no, you two are not rooming together without me. And so then it fell into place that Robert was driving, and I thought if I could get to Nashville, he offered to, give me a hitch, and bring me home. I'm sorry, did I say Raymond? I'm sorry.
No, I said poor Robert.
Oh, poor Robert. Hey, I was entertaining.
I'm sure you were.
I brought out all my best stuff.
Oh, that's cool. I wish I could have been in that car.
But anyway, it fell into place. Well, by the end of the event, Sunday night, I was like, holy hell, I'm glad I'm going back tomorrow because I done run out of money. And so we're at the bar and just kind of like hanging out, and everybody's like, it's getting close to 9 o'clock, and everybody's like, we better go eat if we're going to go eat dinner. And, and then of course it was like, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? And Alex says, you know what? I want to go to the steak place at the Dolphin, because the Swan and the Dolphin were a combined hotel, but they were separate buildings. And the only thing I could think of was steak and Disney. That is not a good thing for me. I'm pretty sure it's going to be kind of expensive. So at first I wasn't going to go, and then Erica said, oh, I want you to go. I said, I just don't think I can handle that. And I'm trying not to say that I can't, the A word, And so I was like, I just don't. And she was like, just go and have, just have water or something, but be with us. And I was like, okay, I'll go. So, and I was thinking, maybe I could find something to have, an appetizer or whatever. Okay, this is Shula's Steak.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Steakhouse. I'd never heard of Shula's Steakhouse, so I just knew steak and Disney, it was going to be expensive. So I look, and I about have a coronary because their cheapest steak was about $55.
Oh yeah.
And that was just the piece of meat. You don't get a potato,
Right.
you don't get a salad, you don't get a vegetable, you get a piece of meat. That's it. And so then I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe I'll have a salad or something. Well, it was still going to be, by the time I paid tip, it was going to be 20 bucks. And I'm like, I'm not paying 20 hard-earned bucks for a little dinky salad. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. And so I had made up my mind I was just going to drink my water and enjoy the company. And I was okay with that. I actually sent snapshots to my husband. I was like, here's the menu. Bink. And then I was like, here's the tray of fresh meat, which looked awesome. Because they were like this thick, you know. And I'm like, bink. And I was like, and when he saw the menu, he said, OMG, you know, capitalized exclamation point, exclamation point. And then I took a picture of my glass of water and I said, that's my dinner. It was a glass of water. And I was okay with that. I was totally okay with that. Then Zen wants to share her dinner with me. And the way she started out was she said, hey, Linda, I'm going to order some shrimp cocktail. Do you like shrimp? And it just hit, talk about an epiphany. I mean, the angels weren't singing, they were crying, I think. But it just hit me on the back of the head. I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of not being successful in this business. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of going to events by the hair of my chinny chin chin. And I'm tired of being a charity case. And so I burst into tears. And I couldn't even look at her. I had to turn away. I couldn't even look at her. So then she, of course, comes over and she has this heart-to-heart, eye-to-eye conversation with me. And she said, I can tell you're at a breaking point. You are playing small, and I'm sick of it, which is what Dave Wood has said several times. She said, you're always saying, if I could at least do 1,500, if I could at least do 3,000. And she said, F that. There's no 1,500. There's no 3,000. $10,000 a month at a minimum is what you are working on, focused on, got your blinders on. And she said, get rid of, like, how did she put it? She was like, just get rid of that feeling you have, reframe it, put power into the anger, and enjoy. She said, I'm going to have a filet and some shrimp cocktail, and I want you to have half of it. I don't want you to feel guilty about it. I don't want you to feel bad about it. I want you to enjoy every bite, and I want you to enjoy the company you're with. And I did. I tried, and of course, once, at least for me, I know a lot of women are like that, but at least for me, once I start crying, it's hard to turn off the waterworks. Even though I start becoming okay, the eyes are still crying. And so, you know, I tried to get that to stop, and then after that, it was fine, and the steak was, like, orgasmic. It was the best steak I'd ever had in my life. And she said, when she was giving me that speech, and she said, you know, are you going to do whatever it takes to get to $10,000 a month? And I said, yes. She said, you just changed. I can feel it in your energy, your body, and your eyes. You just changed. And I came home with a game plan. It's not the game plan that Ray wants me to have, but I came home with a game plan, and I'm getting her done.
It's not that I don't want you to have it. You just got to do it.
I know. But there are stuff that doesn't involve blogging right now that I want to set up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the part I'm talking about. Like this week and next week, I may blog, but it's not going to be 3 times a week. I want to get my funnel set up. I want to get, I just want to get some stuff set up and running. And the blog is going to be there. The blog is a long-term thing. I want to get a little bit of some short-term things set up. But I have to get them set up for them to work. Mm-hmm. So that's my game plan.
Okay. Well, in talking catching up on what Linda was saying, and not wanting to say I can't do it, or I've got a problem with that. Last night I was on a quick webinar hangout with Avram Gonzalez.
Oh.
And for those of you that don't know Avram, he's a coach of helping people get out of financial situations, law of attraction, all the stuff that with keeping your mind straight and everything. And he gave us two questions to ask yourself every day. And they're more empowering questions than, how am I going to do this or whatever, when am I going to get here? And the first one is, what would it be like to, and then you fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
So what would it be like to sponsor 25 people a month and have others waiting, of fun, excited, go-getters in my organization?
Mm-hmm.
So you just want to look at it as, what would it be like to, and then you fill in the rest of it.
Awesome.
And that's the way to ask yourself. And then the other one was, what would it take to make $1 million this year? So you're in a positive state, and that'll change what you're thinking about and tap into your real you. So again, it's what would it take to be, what would it be like to, and what would it take to?
Mm-hmm.
And just think of those every morning when you get up and all day long,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can focus in on it and get your mind in the right place. What do you think about that, Mindset Mama?
You're so cute.
I didn't ask for a smile, I asked for an answer. What do you think about that?
I like it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because especially you're structuring your thoughts, and that's what we need to do.
Right.
Yeah.
We need not to let the chatter just run through our head. We need to structure our thoughts in ways that is going to make us successful.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
And I don't know if you guys saw the Periscope or the video I did about the Periscope. Mike Hobbs did a cool one about affirmations, not affirmations, and basically using your brain like Google and saying, how was it so easy for me to achieve whatever you want to achieve? And just keep asking your brain that, and your subconscious is going to start going through files and trying to find the answer, like if you typed it in Google. So if you have, like, my goal is, yes, I want to get to $10,000 a month, but I want to get to it by the end of the year so I can also take my family to Hawaii. And so, if I'm going to do it, let's get it done. And so that's what I've been asking is, why was it so easy to earn that trip? Why was it so easy to get to $10,000 a month by the end of the year? And you start getting, it might not come to you right away, but your brain's going to start doing its thing, and ideas are going to start coming.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right. Anybody else got anything they want to throw in? Because I think we've tapped out what we're going to talk about today.
I do want to mention on my blab on Thursday nights, which is Success Roads with I do it with Eli Gonzalez, which is my real sponsor. Well, not my sponsor. My sponsor. Anyway, we're going to have Anna Zubarev on this week, and I'm very, very excited about it. And so I don't know. She's going to tell her story of success, and then she may go into some tips on Pinterest or something like that, and she may be giving away something. So watch my wall for the link to connect to that. It's Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
That's tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm a day behind because I usually get home on Mondays after an event, but I got home on Tuesday.
Yeah, and if you just go to blab.im, you can look it up under upcoming shows and just look for Linda's face in the picture.
Yeah, or put my name in there; it might bring it up too. Or Success Roads or something.
Mm-hmm. No. All right. Well, I guess that's going to wrap us up for today. Linda, you'll owe us $50 for the commercial.
Oh, hush it.
But we will be back next week with our last Graduates Mastermind before we get into our next boot camp. So we look forward to seeing everybody then. Let's say goodbye from the panel. So go through. Let's Robert say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay. Hands.
Sayonara. See you on the flip side.
Okay. Linda.
Adios.
All right. And from me, we're getting the hell out of here and get to work. So for all of us here on the panel and those of you watching, we hope you enjoyed this. And we will see you next week. Same time, same place. And look forward to getting more of you on the panel with us. Have a great week and let's get it done.
Yeah.
Get her done.